You're watching Capital City Sunday.
Good morning this week on Capital City Sunday. The presidential candidates back on the campaign trail this week in key swing states. Former President Donald Trump in North Carolina this Saturday, and Vice President Kamala Harris makes a campaign stop in Madison. And with the spotlight on Wisconsin as Republicans and Democrats face off in several key races in the House and Senate that could decide which party gains control of both chambers. I sit down with the candidates from Congressional District 2, Democratic incumbent Mark Pocan and Republican challenger Eric Olson, to hear more about their priorities on the campaign trail. Thank you for joining us. I'm Darielle Fair. Vice President Kamala Harris wrapped up her remarks on Friday in Dane County, a deep blue area where voter turnout could prove to be decisive in this year's election.
All right, we got work to do. 46 days until the election.
Democrats and the vice president telling rally goers tonight not to pay too much attention to the polls.
We have to recognize that Trump supporters are fired up too, so we need to outwork the other side in order to win this state.
Which show the vice president maintains slim leads across the blue wall states, Michigan and Pennsylvania, and Harris and former President Donald Trump in a dead heat among Wisconsin voters. Harris addressed a range of issues during her remarks, including homeownership for working families.
I took on the big banks and delivered $20 billion for middle-class families who faced foreclosure because of predatory lending practices.
Union rights and abortion access.
Donald Trump handpicked 3 members of the United States Supreme Court with the intention that they would undo the protections of Roe v. Wade. Now, in more than 20 states, we have Trump abortion bans, many with no exceptions even for rape and incest.
The International Brotherhood of Teamsters, one of the most prominent and influential unions in the country, said it would not endorse any presidential candidate this year. Its longtime former leader, James P. Hoffa, claiming the decision was a mistake and Harris was the correct choice for labor and working families. Vice President Harris now attempting to show she still has support among its local chapters across the Midwest, with the president of Wisconsin Teamsters introducing the vice president ahead of her remarks. Harris has also earned the backing of Oprah Winfrey, an influential surrogate. The two hosted a virtual live stream in Michigan on Thursday night as the campaign attempts to reach those still undecided voters across key swing states. And former President Donald Trump was in Washington on Thursday for an event focused on addressing the Israeli-American Council Summit and fighting anti-Semitism. The evening commemorated the October 7 attacks that sparked Israel's war with Hamas. Trump touting his past support for Israel and claiming the Jewish state would soon cease to exist unless he is elected. Trump criticized Jewish voters who support Democrats.
We're going to take back our country, and we're going to make Israel great again, and we're going to make America great again. We're going to make them both great again, greater than ever before.
Trump also attended a fundraiser in Miami, making a campaign stop in Wilmington, North Carolina on Saturday, amid the controversial news that broke out earlier this week that Trump endorsed Republican nominee for North Carolina Governor, Lieutenant Governor Mark Robinson, called himself a black Nazi. Vice President Harris and former President Donald Trump are in a tied race nationally among likely voters at 47%. And according to a poll released by the New York Times last week, Harris holds a narrow edge over Trump across the battleground states of Michigan, Wisconsin, and Pennsylvania. Former President Donald Trump leads Harris by 2 percentage points in Georgia, with the two candidates tied in Nevada and North Carolina. The results mirror other recent national polls suggesting little change in the presidential race following the debate between Harris and Trump.